Ho ho ho! We continue with case 2 of the second Ace Attorney Investigations game. And something with a dog, and a bell, and Rook? No, Bastion Rook was the guy who died, but Knight is now dead.
Yes.
Right. Oh dear. Alright. Just making sure we're streaming. And for the email that says we're streaming. I don't see anything that says we're streaming yet. Okay, well that says we're streaming. Okay, so I think we're good. Alright, ready to do this? Alright, then let's do this. Oh yeah, that guy.
Like his hair makes me think of those dogs sometimes that have really haircuts that they keep the hair out of the eyes. I don't even know what kind of dog.
Yeah.
Very,
very strange look. Yeah, he's got a weird look to him.
Hope it's not like some weird psycho that like killed his friend. Needs to call a boy. Because they don't seem like they would be friends. You know what I mean? Because the other guy's all like bam, like twirling a gun on his hand, and this guy just seems.
I don't get where they met up exactly.
He says his roommate or his friend, his best friend.
He said they're friends. So, the network's resources are rather limited. I'll need to lean heavily on the ones I do have at hand. Which means you, Mr. Saint, your information will be invaluable going forward. In other words, let's see if we can't help one another out, shall we? Oh, I just thought of something. Why don't you just borrow an attorney's badge? Then you could represent our pal here. Now's not the time for jokes, Gummy. I mean, Mr. Edgewood's a prosecutor. He couldn't defend anyone if his life depended on it. But I wasn't kidding. I just thought, helping suspects, that's what a defense attorney does, you know? Sure, but we can do that too. The only thing that matters is that we find the real culprit in the end. So come on, let's get to work. Yes, ma'am. I'm sure you know already, but just to be clear, if our investigation ultimately proves you to be the culprit, we'll have no choice but to treat you like any other suspect. Eek. But you needn't worry. I believe you, or at least I have decided to try. For now. Just hold tight and try to believe in us in return, if nothing else. It might help you to feel a little less alone. You know what's weird? I think this is where we actually ended last time. But it's only a difference of like 30 seconds. So we talked a good game in there. But we can't even get back inside the main prison to see the scene of the crime. Maybe defending the guy in court is our best bet after all. Gummy can't defend for his life, remember? Well, who do we have here? If it isn't Edgeworth and the gang, what are you cats doing here?
Talking?
Yes, we did. Listen, pal, if you've come to harass Mr. Edgeworth again, I'll... Hey, easy there, Detective Flatfoot Sholmes. I'm here to work. Work? What, you're here to defend somebody? Whoa, the K-Meister nails it in one. Aren't you just the uber-intelligentes one of the bunch? Uber-intelligentes? That's not how you use either of those words, Fender. Some may say I'm an easygoing old rogue about town, but I'm actually not a half-bad attorney, which is why I've been summoned to the old Jailer-Rooney for a meeting with a new client. The suspect is one Simon E. Sainsbury. You mean Simeon Saint?
Yeah, that's what we...
Yeah. Wow, that's freaky. You know more about my job than I do.
He's trying, like, he seems like he's being an airhead. He's not an airhead.
Well, no, I feel like he pretends to be an airhead. Like, there's sarcasm with a lot of what he says, with his air quotes and all.
Yeah.
Wait, Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Fender's a defense attorney. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? I fear I might be. In fact, it could be our only option. Not so long ago, I found myself embroiled in another case that wasn't mine. I managed to worm my way onto the crime scene by agreeing to be a certain someone's subordinate. Not an experience I ever wanted to repeat, but I fear I may have little choice. Fender, Before you say another word, I just gotta point out the fine print. Eddie Fender doesn't take on associates. Oh dear. Say it ain't so, I hear you protesting, but pompous prosecutors are a no-go. Especially those of the Von Karma variety. I should have known he wouldn't forgive me that easily. I understand why you wouldn't want to work with someone like me. What's more, I understand how you feel about all things Von Karma, but please believe me when I say, I'm not the man I was back then. I'm no longer under my old mentor's spell. Better believe it, pal. Mr. Edgeworth's a changed man. Sure, he used to be the demon prosecutor, but he's not like that anymore. I do have feelings, Detective. Gummy's right. Mr. Edgeworth's one of the good guys now. He's not just a prosecutor. He's a hero. He got me off the hook just last month. You don't say. Well, that escalated quickly. But he was... There's no other word for it. He was heroic. Great thiefly, even. Every time she gets proud of herself, she starts sniffing her pointer finger.
Is she, or is she, like, making, like, she has a mustache? I don't understand.
It'd be cute if that's what she was doing.
I don't think she's smelling her finger.
Yeah, she's never... Yeah. Please, Fend, don't you think there's something odd about the way the committee stepped in yesterday?
Yes.
Were you going to say something?
Oh, or maybe she's touching her nose. I don't know.
There's more to this case than meets the eye, I'm certain of it. I just can't walk away from this. I can't. Please, allow me to help you with this investigation. Sheesh. A bow from the great Miles Edgeworth. Never thought I'd see the day, but here we are. So enlighten me, if you will. What made the leopard change his spots? Well, I suppose I would have to say the courtroom itself. I have experienced so many things and met so many people there within its four walls, including some old friends who showed me a better way to be. How could that not change a person? Heh heh heh. Well, I'll be. The old you would have never bared his soul like that. That was beautiful. You might have even surprised you know who, and you know how much that takes. Tell you what, here's what we're going to do. We're going to start again with a clean slate. So, this is me. Edgeworth & Co. Law Offices, Eddie Bender, Senior Partner. Edgeworth? That's right, Mr. Fender here began his legal career as an assistant to my late father, Gregory Edgeworth. What? Your dad was a defense attorney? So, the you-know-who Mr. Fender keeps talking about is... The clever K-Meister nails it in one yet again. That's right, I was talking about his old man. Guess y'all noticed I kept his name over the door, so to speak? Least I could do for old Gregory, really. Listen, Edgeworth, Miles. I'm going to level with you here. I don't trust you. Not fully, anyway. I just can't forget about all those years she spent licking Von Karma's boots, you know? Anyone can say they've changed. I'm going to need you to prove it. And besides, you know it's what Gregory would have wanted. Very well, I accept. Okay, then that's enough hardball for one day. Let's move on to the fun stuff. Okay, I think that's fair. Totally fair. I hereby appoint you interim associate of Edgeworth & Co. Congrats, man. I will try not to let you down. Well, doesn't this bring a tear to the eye? The prodigal son coming on board in his late father's firm. Permission to come on board too, please, Mr. Fender? You don't even have to ask, kiddo. Welcome to the crew. Woohoo! Thanks, Captain. Alright, I guess it's time to get to work. So where to begin? Any bright ideas, Miles? Where were we when we were so rudely interrupted?
We all agree that Kennedy stepping in seems like
Yeah. With that 17-year-old kid and
this winner in this Gavel or Gavel.
Yeah, it's like Gavel, but it's for Gavel. And she's like blessing people with her courtroom judgy ways. We need to speak with the person who found the body. Just what I was thinking, eager associate, we do indeed. Yeah, still the type to smile and nod, I see. That will certainly make my life easier, boss. Now that that's decided, let's get going. What about me? I'm a detective. I can't just hop on board as this attorney's assistant like you guys. He has a point. I can't leave him adrift all on his own now, can I? Detective Gumshoe, I have a special assignment for you. You are to continue investigating the case under Mr. Winner. And if you happen to discover anything that seems useful, you are to notify me immediately. You're in a uniquely powerful position, Detective, and I'm going to need all the info you can pass our way.
I told you I wish there was like one where you just got everything right. And like you are.
Gumshoe?
Yeah.
That would be cool.
I mean, well, there was the thing, well, I don't know if he was listening to what thing. The one with the badger in the locker room. I can't remember what the police station.
Oh, yeah. Was that the one with Gant and Emma and her sister?
Maybe. I think her sister, Star.
Yeah, that was the last case of the first game.
Anyway, he did pretty well on that one. He seemed to do well, but I wish, like, on this one, he was not ever talk.
Yeah, it's kind of what Herlock Sholmes did.
Are you listening, Capcom?
I mean, maybe they should. Maybe whenever they make, like, their new game, whenever that is, like, Gumshoe at the very end should just be, like, a deductive powerhouse.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm a real pro when it comes to letting things slip to the defense. Trust me, I know, but just this once, those loose lips of yours might be what saves our ship. Throw wide the prison gates, good sirs, because here we come. Yeah, it's a cute pony. So, any idea how we tracked out whoever found the Bronxter's body, Miles? I think our best bet would simply be to ask around. Oh, don't you dare.
What is this?
Who's this? Look at the scarf she has.
Maybe it's a real animal.
That's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure it is. Excuse me, but oh my. Just look at you. Are you talking to me? Just fabulously cheeked, darling. Fabulously. Facial hair is so au courant, don't you think? Who knows? Enchanté, mademoiselle. And much obliged. Defense Attorney Eddie Fender at your service. Let's get things off on the right foot, shall we? A little embrasser, perhaps? Oh, hoo, I like the sound of that. What?
I think she was saying I wanted an embracer.
I didn't know that meant kiss each other. Right on the kisser. Well, how else does one greet a new friend? A little smooch is entirely de rigueur, don't you think? Wow, talk about stealing a kiss. Indeed, an act so shameless it puts even great thieves to shame. Ah! So is that like a white fox? Physical contact is so very important as a form of expression for our little family. Everyone in this lovely home will tell you as much. Hey, if everyone else is hip to that, I can be hip to that too, sure. Fifi Lagarde, by the way, warden of this charming abode. You may call me Fifi, of course. So she's the warden of the entire detention center and prison facility, is she? A pleasure to meet you, Miss Lagarde. Miles Edgeworth. I am an associate with Mr. Fender's practice. I hope you don't mind me asking, but were you here in the prison yesterday? Oh, don't be silly, darling. Of course I was. Yesterday was a very important day, after all. Important in what way exactly? A big meeting of some kind, perhaps? A meeting? Oh, heavens, no. I couldn't think of anything worse. No, yesterday the circus came to visit.
In prison?
It was a simply spectacular event featuring some terrifically talented animals. Anyone who was anyone had to be there. If you were at home, you were watching the show with me. The performer set up a special stage in the yard just for us. We were one very lucky family, n'est-ce pas? N'est-ce pas, I believe. So she was at the circus performance for the inmates yesterday morning. Mr. Carcerado mentioned the show yesterday as well. Oh yeah, he did. He must have been talking about the same thing. What time did the show take place? Aw, look at the smile on his face. Aw. For around 8 until 10, maybe? Yes, something like that. Meaning it finished right around when the body was discovered. And by dint of having attended the show, she has a reasonably solid alibi. Plus, I hope she didn't do it only because she has a cute fox on her face.
Why did you do that?
I don't know. Like, I never know who does what until later, but... Oh, would you look at the time? Sorry, darlings, but I really must dash. No, feel free to explore our home. Mi casa, su casa, and all that. Ciao for now. Okay, so she's like, oh my god, why am I blanking on defense attorney's name? Athena. Athena changes languages on the fly. Well, what now, Mr. Edgeworth? The person who found the body screamed, and that scream was heard by one inmate that we know of. Therefore, our first task is to question this inmate and see where his information will take us next. So, let's question the parrot. Nope, can't do that. They even have ponies. This one's only big enough to carry a small child. Isn't this great, Mr. Edgeworth? It's like being at the zoo. Except it's the humans, not the animals who live in captivity here. No one would mind if I took home one with me, would they? If by home you mean behind bars, then no, I suppose not. Right on the kisser. She seems to have given you quite a shock. And why is that? I thought you were a man of the world. Yeah, well, I'm all for saying hi with a hug, but going straight for the kiss? Cool your boots, am I right? Woo me a little before puckering up, that's all I ask. Wow, I never would have pegged you as the shy type. It's the same thing with you, babe. I always want you to woo me before you kiss me. That's not the issue here, I think, Kay. I'll give it to you straight. Running the biz was tough going at first. You Gregory Edgeworth, man. Those are some pretty big shoes to fill. I see, and what kind of cases does the firm take on? Might be better asking what we don't. We do murders, parking fines, the whole 9 yards. Our basic principle is this. Everyone deserves a defense. So you've never refused a request. Well, let's just say I have certain preferences in the clients I work with. But then you just said that everyone deserves a defense? Hey, I'm just messing with you, little sis. Of course we treat all our clients the same. I mean, Gregory's name is still above the door. I've got to live up to his ideals, you know? And that means always doing my best for everyone. Edgeworth and Company, the firm my father built, huh? So... let's talk to... ooh, kitty. You have a moment? We have a few questions for you. Aw, who's a good girl? You are? You're just perfect. She really is. She's beautiful. Him. Meow. He's finally noticed me, I think. I was wondering, what's her name? It's Waggy, ma'am. She's my little friend. Yes, right. As you were then. But I need her answers, not awful puns. Why is there a rabbit just nearly tripped over it? Isn't this great, Mr. Edgeworth? It's like being at the zoo. Except it's the humans, not the animals who live in captivity here. Oh, that's the same conversation. I'm with the monkey. Looks, Mr. Edgeworth, it's a monkey mountain. Not something I ever expected to see in a prison, I must say. Doesn't it look like fun? Not in the least, and while we are on the subject, you are not under any circumstances to climb on that structure. Do I make myself clear? But I have to show that monkey who's boss. Please, Kay, you really don't. Okay, I guess we just talked to this guy. About the person who found the body, do you happen to know where he is right now? Should be in one of the workshops, I guess. Usually is at this hour. And it seems the workshops are our next port of call. I can see the crime scene through the window in the store. Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just shove your whole face in front of a window like that. You have to do it more sneaky-like. Steal a few good looks while keeping a lookout for your enemies. I am not a criminal, Kay, so why should I have to behave like one? Yeesh, I was just trying to teach you my special sneak peek technique. Well, I have no need for any such technique, thank you very much. Hello, anybody in there? Nice try, kiddo, but this isn't a bathroom stall. Yo, you there, could you help us out, my good man? Yes, sir, what can I do for you? Is there anybody using this workshop right now? Yes, sir, one of the prisoners is in there. Just confirmed to myself, you're in the new time room call. We'd like to speak to this prisoner, if that's alright. Sure, I'll go fetch him right now. Won't take a sec. This one's all yours, Milesy boy. What? Why? Let's just say I'd rather not roll the dice with someone I don't know, yeah? And I thought adults were all supposed to be strong and brave.
Well, we don't know either, right?
Yeah, I'm expecting some 10-foot guy to come out of there right now. Here they come.
What?
This guy?
Isn't he the one that killed in the first...
Yes.
the clock?
The very, very first case ever. With the clock? Yeah, I mean, it's the very first case. And they literally tell you who did it in the opening scene.
And he's got a glove in his pocket, and it looks through... well, we don't know how to use it.
Yeah. I hear you wish to speak with me? Not exactly the hardened criminal we were expecting, is he? My name is Miles Edgeworth. I'm a public prosecutor. A prosecutor, you say? Eddie Thunder, attorney at law. What happened to being too scared to handle this? Listen, sorry about my pal here. He gets the weirdest ideas. Prosecutor, indeed. That'll be the day. He's actually just an associate. Gee, Miles, get a grip, will ya? Ah, he's right. I mustn't forget that I'm the defense attorney's assistant for the time being. Ah, that explains it. I did think you looked a little different from the prosecutor I spoke with yesterday. So he's already spoken to Winner. Would you mind answering a few questions? By the way, speaking of Winner, kinda off topic, but there used to be a boxing game for the Sega Genesis called Evander Holyfield's Real Deal Boxing, and there was a creative boxer mode. And I always made a guy named Lappy Winner.
Lappy?
Lappy Winner was the name. I don't know why, but every time I went on Sega Channel, which was kind of like a streaming service at that point, only was via cable, in slow downloads, I'd make him was Lappy Winner. My brother never understood why I named the guy Lappy Winner. But this game named the guy Winner, so of course I'd be delighted. The name saw it. Frank saw it. This is all yours, my young associate. Sure, have the intern do everything. Why not? Mr. Sod, you are no doubt aware that a murder took place yesterday. Would you mind telling us where you were at the time the body was found? Yes, I was in the workshop there, working as one might expect. What kind of work were you doing? Well, I'm actually retraining at the moment. I'm hoping to become a stylist, you see. A pet stylist, that is. Yes, so I've been studying hard and practicing every moment I can. An unusual field of study befitting an unusual prison, I suppose. And that's it. I certainly didn't see anything.
Uh-oh.
Ah, we're gonna have to play chess with you, are we? I'm afraid I'm gonna be able to help you. No, I'm the one who's sorry, Mr. Sod, for this interview has only just begun. I mean, even if you were to ask me, you know something, don't you? He's definitely hiding something. I'll just need to push him a little harder if I'm to get any answers. Oh, yes, 3 pieces. Something tells me he'd be a good poker player. I tried to tell much at all from his face, but I don't think he'll be giving me much in the way of physical cues either. Yeah. I'll have to rely solely on his words instead. That's the only way I'll know what's going on underneath. Alright, time to make my first move. Let's see who we're dealing with here. Okay, so no physical tells. We just have to deduce it. Everyone has a tell. It says, okay. Tell me, what's your connection to this incident? Which incident? The murder? Oh, well, it has nothing at all to do with me. Nothing. Really? I wouldn't dream of getting involved in anything as ghastly as that. You see, how can I put this? I like to think of myself as an upstanding citizen. A good person, if you will. Forgive me, Mr. Saul, but under normal circumstances, good people do not tend to end up in prison. So you do well to tell me what you know about the incident. How many times do I have to tell you people? I mean, I don't know anything, I swear. Sorry, I don't know what more to say, but I can't help you. My apologies, Mr. Sawit, but considering that the incident occurred right here in the prison, I find it very hard to believe that you know nothing at all. Oh, well, yes, I suppose I can see how it might seem unlikely, but it's true. If you're looking for the person who found the body, you'll have to look elsewhere. Why do you think I'm looking for the person who found the body? I certainly never mentioned any such thing to you. Is it because you do know something you're not telling me after all? No, I just sensed that's who you might be looking for, that's all. I'm simply a pet stylist in training. I don't know anything, truly. There's no doubt about it now. This man is hiding something big. In which case, let's find out what he did yesterday, the day of the incident. My opponent is very good at hiding his true feelings, but not for long. It's time to smash that mask of his and see what lurks behind that phony smile. The day of the incident. Tell me about the day of the incident. If you really don't have anything to do with the murder, then you have nothing to hide, right? Well, the day of the incident? Oh gosh, I mean, so much happened. If you don't have anything to ask me, I need to be going. Perhaps a little more proactivity is called for. Maybe I should ask him how things were at the prison. I don't know. What was it like here in the prison yesterday? I really don't remember. I don't have the best memory, I'm afraid. I don't have a clue as to how to push the conversation forward. Let's try another tack. Okay, so I'll come back to that. And I'll ask him what he was doing instead. I want to know what you were doing, Mr. Sod, in detail. I told you I'm a pet stylist in training. And that's what I was doing yesterday, training. Specifically, I was giving the animals a trim. You didn't notice any commotion at the time of the incident? I would imagine things were suddenly quite tumultuous around here. Well, commotion, you say? You know, not really. Maybe I heard someone, but... You heard someone? Was this someone screaming by any chance? Don't try to tell me you don't remember. You assert that you know nothing about the incident, Mr. Sod, but I'm afraid I don't believe a word of it. Yeah! No, I thought I heard someone yelling, but I don't really remember. The fact that you heard a scream at the time of the murder may well prove to be a useful clue. I would do well to bear it in mind. Okay, now I can go back to that. You don't remember? Please, you literally just confirmed that you heard a scream. Oh, but I might have been mistaken. The truth is, I really don't remember. Your memory fails you yet again. How convenient. I know you're lying, Mr. Sod. How dare you talk to me like that? I mean, I'm not lying. 13. Surely you've known it, Mr. Sod, but I have you exactly where I want you. No, I don't. So I got it quite blue. Look, if you must know, when I'm working with the animals and I get into the zone, they're all I see. Am I to understand you have something of a talent for animal grooming then? Well, my scissor technique could use a little work, but I'd say I'm quite good with the animals. They seem to like me. I'm especially good at calming them down when they get scared. Scared? When exactly do they get scared? Surely it doesn't happen very often. Well, that's... No, thankfully it doesn't. A loud scream would certainly frighten the animals, wouldn't it? Why are you going to such lengths to deny having heard the scream? What is it you're hiding, Mr. Sod? Tell me. Yeah. I can assure you, I'm not hiding anything. I'll admit I did really hear somebody scream, but I'm not hiding anything, I promise. The mask is finally beginning to crack. Now to shatter it completely by asking about the scream itself in more detail. Yeah, get all that help back. I'm afraid you're about to learn a painful lesson, Mr. Sod. That hiding things from me never ends well for my opponent. Who did you hear screaming? Wait, I just realized I made a mistake. When the incident happened, I was out in the yard. Yes! So, I didn't hear anyone screaming. No one at all. I don't have a clue as to how to push the conversation forward. Right. When did you hear the scream? Oh, wait, now I remember. I forgot about the show. They put on a show for us prisoners around the time of the incident, you see. Yes, performing animals, if I remember rightly. That's where I was in the morning. So now you wish to claim that you didn't hear a scream because you were at the show. You do realize that goes completely against everything you've told me so far. And what are you going to do about it, huh? That is, my memory is patchy, as they say. Wait a sec. The animal show really had to be seen to be believed. It did it? Tell me, what kind of animals did you see? Let me think. A whale? You weren't at the show. It was circus animals. Enough of your lies, you were nowhere near the show, were you? Yeah, well, I seem to remember being there, but maybe I was, maybe I wasn't. It's clear Mr. Sod wasn't at the show. This feels like a vital clue. How long are you planning to keep up these lies? I already know that you weren't at the show. Yeah. Game's up, Mr. Sod. It's high time you told me the truth. I demand to know about the scream now. I can't tell you what I don't know. I didn't hear any scream, not from the person who found the body. How curious. Most people would assume that the scream had come from the victim. So then, why do you think it came from the person who found the body? Hmm? I made a mistake, that's all. How, Mr. Sod? How did you know that it was the person that found the body who screamed? Because you're the one who found the body. Dun dun dun. Shall I tell you? You knew because it was you who found the body. And the scream that was heard when the incident occurred didn't come from the victim. It came from you. Yeah. Man, he's as bad as lying as he was in the first game. How did you? Ugh, it's true, I admit it, but what gives you the right to treat people like this? Checkmate. Now that we've established that you were the one who found the body, Mr. Sod, I believe you have lost any standing you might have had to withhold your cooperation. Alright, you win. But I'm sure I won't have anything useful to tell you. It probably isn't even worth your time. That's not for you to decide. By my hand, the truth will be revealed. Every decision I make is to ensure that end. Except that's not exactly what we're here to do, is it? What do you mean? We're not trying to expose the truth, we're trying to save Simeon. Simeon, yeah. That's what we do now, remember? We work to get our client out of trouble. Not as a prosecutor, but as a defense attorney's assistant. What the K-Meister said, you need to listen to the kid more, you know. The client has requested the services of Edgeworth & Co. But as your old man always said, your relationship with your client comes before anything else. So if you think Mr. Saint's well-being is taking a back seat to some quest for the truth, well, let's just say I don't like to fire people, so I need you to fight against your instincts a little harder, yeah? This will take some getting used to. In any case, the importance of this man's testimony remains unchanged, so, if I may... Therefore, Mr. Sod, I am asking once more, what happened when you found the body? I was in that workshop there by myself, practicing what I'd learned. I don't remember how, but I found myself in front of the door to the other workshop. I happened to peek in through the little window, and then I saw him lying there. A man, not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself screaming in sheer terror. You notice anything about that testimony?
He was in such terror.
No, nothing seemed
Overly crazy.
overly crazy or dishonest. At least not yet. The room you're in is next to the one where the corpse was found. Yes, that's right. I was in Workshop B. And you were there the whole day. Yes, from the 7 a.m. roll call onwards. There are 3 roll calls a day, you see. 7 a.m., noon, and 9 p.m. They check who's in the workshops during roll call, correct? That's right. Nothing was reported to be amiss at 7 a.m., which means that Knight's body wasn't in the workshop yet at that point in time. Guess that means that the murder took place after 7 a.m., which puts it right around the time the show was happening. Ah yes, the show. I remember the other prisoners going to see it. And therefore, anybody who wasn't at the show has no alibi. Would that be a fair assessment, Mr. Sarge? I guess so, but I only found the body, I swear. There's a clear contradiction. Oh, okay, never mind. Reading it out should be my first priority, so...
I remember the other prisoners going to see it. So he stayed behind where they all went.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, yeah, I remember us all watching it together.
Yeah.
Saying, I remember other things.
Yeah, but we found out through the checkmate stuff that he was the guy who found the body and he wasn't at the show. So we know that.
Hold it!
What exactly were you practicing? To be a pet stylist, of course. I'm a model prisoner after all. So he keeps saying. I don't remember how, but I found myself in front of the door to the other workshop.
Hold it!
You found yourself there, really? That's right, and then I found myself peeking through the little window in the door. Why did you think to do that? Gosh, I don't know. I just found myself doing it, really. Clearly you weren't concentrating on your work then. No, that's not true. I'm a model prisoner. It's just all the other prisoners had gone to watch the show. I guess I was, well, kind of lonely. Like being stuck at school after everybody else has gone home, huh? Yes, exactly like that. Anyway, I found myself in front of the door to the other workshop, and...
Hold it!
Does that mean you didn't get a good look inside? No, I couldn't. The window was not only small, but it had bars over it, you see. Not exactly a panoramic view. But just so the guards can check what's going on, right? That's right, yes. You're a very knowledgeable young lady. You bet. I guess you could say I know a little something about prisons now, too. I'll have to remind myself to address this newfound interest later. Anyway, yes, I peeked in through the little window in the workshop door.
Hold it!
Could you tell right away if it was a man or a woman? It was clearly a man. His physique, his clothes. It was also very clear that he was dead. You could tell just by peeking through the little window. Look, let's just say this wasn't my first dead body. Yeah. What? You mean you're in prison for... To my internal shame, yes. This was, however, the first time I had seen another person's handiwork up close, so...
Hold it!
Do you recall how exactly you screamed? Any words you might have used? No. I only remember that I screamed. Eek! Folks don't tend to remember much when they're busy crying out in terror, Miles. Exactly. So, yes, I screamed. That's all I remember. He presents himself as an innocent bystander, but nothing could be further from the truth. Given what he is, things couldn't have happened as he claims. The contradiction in his testimony is as clear as day. I just need to present the evidence that proves it. So let's look at our evidence, because I'm not seeing anything jump out at me. So he found himself from Workshop B to the door outside of Workshop A. Out timely. These are chess pieces, right? I've seen the ones you have in your office. How come these are black and white? Those chess pieces are. The ones in my office are custom made. As in they're unique and probably valuable? I like the sound of that. She's got that glint in her eye. She better not be planning a robbery. Yeah. Maybe we can find the contradiction and then...
Is it the glove? Is it missing a glove out of the daycare?
Yeah, but where are we contradicting that exactly? I mean, I can see this coming later. Like, you didn't see it from outside. You got in the room somehow. You left a glove in there because you have a glove in your apron. But I don't see how that's going to be a thing for this testimony.
Did you see the dog?
Nope.
I didn't look back. There was a
So I wonder if it has anything to do with this. Door sensors open the doors if an animal is detected, but raise the alarm if an inmate's bracelet is detected. Prisoners are not allowed to move about freely. So, how did he get in front of the other workshop if he's not allowed to move about freely? Maybe that's it.
Objection!
Kidding, I got it. Enough of these pathetic lies, Mr. Sawit. I'm afraid you'd rather lost sight of what you are. What I am? I know precisely what I am. I am a former newspaper salesman who's training to be a pet stylist. That's not all you are, is it? Or did you forget the bracelet you wear around your wrist? The bracelet that marks you as a prisoner and therefore unable to move around as you please. We both know stepping outside the door would have sounded an alarm. Well, that's... But there's no way you could have looked into the other workshop without leaving the room you were in. Yeah. Owie, stylishly done, Echiru. Doesn't this mean that Mr. Sod couldn't have found the body, then? Good question, Kay. Perhaps Mr. Sod himself can explain? So actually, I may have forgotten to mention one very important detail. Sorry about that. I can explain exactly how I was able to see the body if you like. By all means, go ahead. Okay, now we'll save. Oops. Ooh, next time we'll learn a trick. Oops. Let's do this actually. Okay. What his little trick is, apparently. But I think, all in all, he must have been inside somehow. And that doesn't necessarily mean he did it, but we know from the first case that he's not just an innocent dude. He's got issues.